Hello everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live today. We have a really cute little treat box to share with you guys today. The little belly band slides off like that, and it's actually like a lidded box. I don't do a lot of lidded boxes, but this one is super cute. I couldn't help myself. So this is what we're gonna make today. The belly band just goes right on, and it features that super cute Nuts About Squirrels set. But we got to talk about what's going on today, because there is a lot happening today. It's a big Stampin' Up! Day. Before we get to the big sale, but let's talk about Paper Pumpkin. So Paper Pumpkin for November, the subscription period is open. If you want it, you need to subscribe by November 10th. It is going to be super cute. I don't know if you guys can see that super cute little picture right here. It's going to create 9 oversized treat boxes with coordinating food safe bags. So I mean, it's so cute. I love little Christmas treat boxes. These are going to be adorable. I'm debating whether or not I need to bump up my subscription kit. They are so cute. Just a little sneak peek. So cute. I cannot wait to make them. So this is November's kit. So this will come to us in November. You need to subscribe by November 10th if you want it. If you don't subscribe by November 10th, you might not get it. So make sure you subscribe by November 10th. Now this is October's kit. This came yesterday. Now, I always go live in my VIP groups, when it arrives. So I will actually be doing that tomorrow. I won't have time today to do it. So I will actually do this 9 a.m. tomorrow morning in my VIP group. So if you haven't joined my VIP group, make sure you join my VIP group. If you want to see what Paper Pumpkin is all about, join my VIP group. I'll do the unboxing tomorrow, or you can catch the replay on YouTube. So I'm really excited about this one. I've already seen lots of sneak peeks of this one. I'm really excited. I have tons of alternate ideas going on in my head for subscribers. They'll get a PDF with alternate projects with that Paper Pumpkin kit. So, okay guys, the big sale, 24 hours, 2-day only. So the sale is already started. Lots of people have already been placing orders, which is fantastic. 15% off all cling stamps in this catalog. So we'll talk about what that means in just a second, but I do want to just point out that Stampin' Up! Very rarely discounts their stamp sets. Their stamp sets are such high quality, and the stamp sets are hardly ever discounted. You never see stamp sets on the retired list, and because of that, this is just a huge sale. 15% off is huge, so make sure that you are stocking up. Now it says cling stamp sets, 15% off, all in this catalog. So the cling stamp sets in the holiday catalog will not count, but if you have this catalog, if you have the annual catalog, go ahead and scroll through it. Anything that says cling stamps, these say photopolymer, anything that says cling, make sure you make sure you read those cling stamps. Those will all be on sale. 15% off every single cling stamp in this catalog, with the exception of the Hostess stamp sets. So make sure you're going through the catalog. If you don't have a catalog, head to my online store. There's a link in the video description. Just click the banner. You can shop today, click the banner, and it will show you every single stamp set on sale for today only. Now, this sale ends tonight at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So don't wait until 11:50 to start putting your order in. Get your order in. The sooner the better. Make sure to use that host code in my video description. This host code, this is this month's host code. When your order is over $50, you'll receive a make and take kit and a PDF to coordinate with that make and take kit. All orders, regardless of size, will receive that PDF. But if once your order gets over $50, you will receive that make and take project kit that goes with it. And the Make and Take kit this month actually features the stamp sets. If you love the Nuts About Squirrels, you want to save on stamp sets, get that order in. Orders over $50 will receive that Make and Take kit. Okay, so that's the big sale, you guys. Don't miss this sale. It's for today only. All right, was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. You guys, the days run together. I announced my November in-person class. This will be, if you are local in the Albuquerque area, you can join my November class. We are making 5 cards. They are all thank you cards. They're all thank you themed. It's going to be so much fun. I'm calling it my Thanksgiving leftovers class, because a lot of the cards were just extras that I had cut too many of for previous classes. So I had lots of extra card bases, lots of extra DSP already cut. So I just redesigned all of those cards. They're going to be beautiful cards. If you want to join me in my in-person class, it is in November. I'll make sure to post information on that in my groups, or you can always message or email me about that if you're local in the Albuquerque area and want to attend. All right, guys, let's get to our cute little box today. So I talked about the little belly band that slides off. It's a little lidded box. Lidded boxes are always so popular. And inside we have this walnut square bar. This is from C's Candies. I love C's. Love their dark chocolate. It's the best. All right, so we're going to make this little lidded box. And you guys, lidded boxes are sometimes a little bit intimidating because you have to make the lid a little bit bigger than the bottom. But I'm going to take all the guesswork out of that. And we're actually only remembering 2 score lines for everything. So let's get started. So you need a piece of cardstock for the top and for the bottom. So I have, let me get my Simply Scored out. I have Gorgeous Grape for the top, and the top is 5.5 by 6, and the bottom is 5 3/8 by 5 7/8. Now all of the measurements are in the video description, and they'll be on my blog in the morning. First thing tomorrow morning, it'll all be posted on my blog. So don't worry about writing anything down. So the top is just slightly bigger. It's just 1/8 of an inch bigger on both sides. So on all 4 sides, though, we're going to score it 1/2 inch and at 1.5. We'll score half, 1.5, turn. We're going to go half, 1.5, half, 1.5, and 1/2 inch and 1.5. So that's all the score lines for this one. So you did all 4 sides. Now we're going to score the bottom in the exact same way. So this one is just 1/8 of an inch smaller, so 5 3/8 by 5 7/8, and we're just going to do those same score lines. Half, 1.5, and just go all the way around. I do encourage you guys to check out that sale, because when I first saw the sale, I was like, well, I don't need any more stamps. But once I actually looked through the ones that were on sale, I realized there was a few that were actually on my wish list, and, you know, at a discounted price, why not get them? So make sure you check out that list. You might have a few stamp sets that are on your wish list, and you just don't know it. All right, so both of our papers were scored exactly the same way, 1/2 and 1.5 on each side. So we're going to go through, and we're going to cut and assemble them the same way. So just go through, cut, or fold and burnish on all those score lines. All right, and one more side. All right, so we're going to start with our lid. We're actually going to cut them the same way. So with the cardstock more in portrait, so this is the short side, this is the long side, we're going to do some trimming. So we're going to cut up these score lines pretty much on all 4 of these score lines, and then we'll go in and start taking stuff out. Go ahead and cut up all 4 score lines, and then we're going to start removing some stuff. So we're going to remove these 2 on the sides here, and I'm actually going to cut this in at a little bit of an angle. Okay, so let's remove this one too, on this side. Then I'm going to cut off these little outside rectangle pieces. We don't need these on these smaller panels. Okay, so kind of have our little tabs there. Now I'm just going to notch in on this one just a little bit. Don't need to notch in a lot. And then I'm just going to fold that out of the way real quick. And then we're just going to go in on these squares, and we're going to notch in on those squares. Just cut those, just notch those in. These will not be seen, so don't worry. If your cutting is crooked, it doesn't matter. So that is how we're cutting it on one side. So we're going to turn it all the way around, and we're going to do the same exact thing. So cut up those 4 score lines there. And one more, and then we're just going to take out the same exact pieces that we took out before. So we're going to take out these 2 side ones, trim that at a little bit of an angle. We'll cut this one off while we're here. We'll do the same thing on this side. Cut that at a little bit of an angle. Cut this one off. Trim these at just a little bit of an angle. So that, fold that out of the way, and then we'll trim up these little tabs here. Okay. So let me put that down. Let me get all my trash out of the way. Let me put that down so you can see exactly how we cut that. Okay. So the cutting is pretty easy, and you'll cut the bottom. You're going to fold and cut the bottom in the exact same way. So you're going to end up with this piece. Okay? So everything is cut the exact same way. You can see it's all lined up. So we're going to do some adhering now. So I'm actually going to flip these over, and I'm going to grab my tear and tape for this. And we are going to put, let me see, where's my end? Here it is. We're going to put adhesive on all of these little tabs here. And I'm putting them close to the score line because that's where they're going to end up being glued there. We're going to line up the score line with the cut line. So on all 4 of these as well. Just go through. You can use your scissors if you don't like to tear it. All right, so we have all of our adhesive on those 8 little tabs there. Now we're going to flip it back over, and we're going to add adhesive on all of these little 1/2-inch tabs all the way around. So just go through, use any strong adhesive you want. You can use Stampin' Seal Plus would be good, Tombow, that would be good too. Then on this side too, you're going to do the same thing. So the boxes are assembled in the exact same way. And the trimming is pretty simple. You can do these in any colors you want. Okay, so that is all of our little boxes. So we're going to flip it back over. We're going to start with all these little tabs here. So I'm going to go through, take all the adhesive off of these. Flip this over. Take all the adhesive. You can use your take your pick tool too. I'm using my scissors, which I don't know. Good idea, bad idea, I don't know. All right, so line this score line up with this cut edge and just make your way around the whole box doing that. Score line with the edge, just like that. The tear and tape really just makes them stick almost immediately. So that's that one. I'm going to go through and do this one, lining that score line up with that edge. So this is just your standard box. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go through and we're going to peel off all of these backings with the tear and tape. If you've already applied the glue for your Stampin' Seal Plus or your liquid glue, then you're good. If you need to peel off your backings, you want to do that. And you want to make sure that you add your adhesive before you start assembling it, because as you can see, it's a little difficult to get all the way in there. So make sure that you're adding that adhesive before you start putting those corners in. Okay, hang on, here we go. And this one, 2 more. All right, last one. And then our box will go together. Super easy. This one doesn't want to come up. There we go. Okay. So all we're going to do now is just fold these over just like this. And by having that extra score line, it's going to give our box a more rounded edge. You're not going to end up with that, I don't know, sharper cardstock edge. This is really going to give our box a nice finished, complete look. It's just really cute. I just love this like finished look. So, all right, go all the way around and then just go through all 4 sides and burnish them with your bone folder there. Make sure everything is sticking, okay? So this will fit in just like that. Isn't that cute? Now to make it a little bit easier to open and close the box, we're going to add a little couple finger notches here. So I'm actually going to pull out my ruler. And I'm going to mark the center of these just so I can make sure that it gets nice in the center. So these are on the short sides. It's about 2.5 inches long. So at the 1 1/4 inch mark, I'm just going to make a little mark there. We'll do the same on this side. So 1 1/4 inches. You just want to make a little mark to, just so you know where that center is. Then we're going to take the 1/2 inch circle punch. This is actually a retired punch from Stampin' Up, but I know a lot of you have this punch. And so we're just going to put it in about halfway, making sure that our mark is right in the center of our punch. And then just punch it out and do the same on the other side. And you can do it on all 4 sides if you want, but just those little finger notches on the front and the back. There we go. That'll help open your box by having those little finger notches. You see how that works? So cute. Okay. Let me move all my trash out of the way. Let's put our little our little walnut square in. Now this was sized specifically for this little treat, but you could fit a bunch of things in here. You could fit, you know, Ghirardelli chocolate bars would fit in here. All of that. Okay, let's move all my trash out of the way. Move that. Move that. We're going to start decorating our box. Decorating it is super simple. I went super simple on this. We just have a piece of DSP. This is from the You're a Peach DSP. I think that's what it's called. Or Love Sweet as a Peach. I don't. It's all going to be in the blog tomorrow. This piece of DSP is cut to 2 1/4 by 2 3/4, and that's just going right on top. Okay, just like that. I love that little like sketchy kind of look. All right, let's stamp our squirrel. I'm going to stamp him in Memento. We're actually going to color him. Let me grab the stamp set so you guys can see which stamps that we're using. We're using this Nuts About Squirrel stamp set. I'm stamping him in black Memento ink just on a scrap piece of white. Just like that. Close this. All right, so we are going to color him with Stampin' Blends. Now you could, if you don't want to color him with Stampin' Blends, or maybe you're making a bunch, you could just use the fill-in stamp and just fill him in. But the stamp set gives you a couple of different options, so you can do it either way. So I'm going to start with my dark cinnamon cider. And I'm going to actually use my brush tips for these. I hardly ever color with my brush tips, but this is kind of a bigger area, so we're going to go in with our brush tip. And with the darker one, I'm going to go along his tail here, the outside of his tail, or the inside, I guess. And this is just going to help us get a little bit more coverage a little quicker. And then along his back here, there's a little bum there. We're going to go around. I'm going to go around his leg right there. And then just be careful if you want to switch to your bullet point tip, you can. We're just going to go around the top of his eyes and just his little ears, just like that. Okay. Now with my light, I'm just going to go in a circular motions with my brush tip, and we're just blending those colors together. I just want a little bit of the light. We're not filling in the whole tail, just filling it in. This one I'm going to fill in all the way. We're going to go in, do his little feet. I'll do this back foot too. And we're just going to go through, don't go over his eye. Just go down a little bit on his face. All right, and then on his ears. Just a little bit of blending, just like that. A little bit more here, so it's not so harsh. All right, now we're going to go in with our color lifter, and on the brush tip end, and I'm just going to go over that edge where the light cinnamon cider meets that white cardstock, and that's just going to soften that edge quite a bit, and it's going to give it a more kind of organic look. And along his face right there, and it's going to take a minute or two before it starts to really be evident, but you're going to get this like little kind of blending wispy look. So you're just going to keep doing that. For his little acorn, we're going to do Crumb Cake. So I'm going to use the bullet tips. So it's a smaller area. And I'm doing the top in the dark Crumb Cake. And then I'll do the bottom. I'm only going to fill in the top and the sides with the bottom, or with the light. And then I'll go in with that color lifter and do that same thing, and just it just gives it just a softer little look. Let's go in his tail one more time. And you can go in with that color lifter as much as you want. It'll just keep blending that edge. Okay, so it's going to end up looking like that. And you can just keep going over it as much as you need to. And if you want it, this one has little rosy cheeks. If you want to give them a little rosy cheeks, you can use the Calypso Coral Light. Perfect for little rosy cheeks. All right, let's put our Stampin' Blends away. All right, so there is no die for this. Now I'm using the largest circle in the Layering Circles dies. So if you don't want to fussy cut this, stamp your little squirrel directly onto your largest circle. But you know, I'm a fussy cutter. I love it. So I already have one fussy cut out, so you can see those little wispy little edges there. Super cute. So magic of television. Now, if you didn't want to use Stampin' Blends, you could just stamp the squirrel, and you can see the difference. Let me hold these up a little bit. So you can see the difference in the more kind of wispy colored image, and then the more crisp stamped image. So your choice, whichever one you want to do, whichever one is your more preferred look. Today we're just going for the blends one. All right, we're going to stick him on with, of course, dimensionals. So let me get a few of these. Maybe 3, maybe one more for this tail. Back here, let's pull off those backings. Oh, before we stick them on, let's stamp our greeting. So I have the Nuts About You greeting. I'm using gorgeous grape ink. So let's stamp that. We're going to stamp it in like the top left of that circle. There we go. Stick that aside, and now we can stick our little squirrel on. Just don't cover the greeting. And again, if you don't want to fussy cut him, just go in and stamp him directly onto that circle. All right, one more piece of our box here. We have our belly band. So I have a piece of cinnamon cider. This is 1 1/4 by 8. And I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm actually going to start on the front. And I'm just going to wrap it around, just kind of pinching, kind of telling me where I need to fold those lines. And then I'm going to go in with my bone folder and just make sure that the cardstock is straight, and then give those lines a good little burnish. And that will make our belly band nice and straight, and we know it's the right size, and we don't have to worry about scoring at, 1/16 of an inch or any of those crazy score lines. All right, so this is going to get wrapped around. So a little bit of tear and tape again, just on one of these ends. And we'll peel that off. Perfect. And then just wrap this around your belly band, or your box. Just make sure it's not super snug. Just make sure it'll slide on and off, just like that. Looks good. And so finally, we're going to put our little squirrel on with some dimensionals. Let's see, can I get one off? So just a couple dimensionals right here on the belly band. Do not stick the dimensionals to the box, or you're going to adhere the box closed. So just stick your little squirrel on. And for a final touch, we have a little seam binding bow. I've already pre-tied that. I used 2 strands of seam binding. I just kind of folded it in half so we have like a double bow here. And I'm going to use a glue dot, stick that on my glue dot, and just kind of stick that right under my my circle onto the belly band. Make sure you stick it onto the belly band. Don't stick it on the box. Make sure everything gets adhered to the belly band. Then just slide it off. You have your little treat inside. Super cute. I just love this box. It's so much fun. And it's super easy to make that lidded box. So that is today's project. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like the coloring. But again, if you didn't want to color it, you could always just substitute that stamped squirrel. Either way is super, super cute. All right, guys, that is it for me today. If you're watching this on Facebook, please share it with your friends. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. And I will be back in my VIP group tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for Paper Pumpkin, and then again on Sunday for our 12 weeks of Christmas countdown. And so this is the project we're making on Sunday, and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. It's a shadow box. So this box is super fun to make. So make sure you join me on Sunday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time for this box for our 12 weeks of Christmas. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Time for the Paper Pumpkin. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.